Twin Cities. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Dallas Cowboys and the Minnesota Vikings. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. On the ground, this is Rashad Penny. Takes this to the 27. Give him 4 yards. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They'll run with Penny here out of the shotgun. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. From the gun, it's Mahomes. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked off by David Long. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over.
Let's go now. 18 Gator. 45. Check right, check right. Six, pull it high.
They'll run on 1st down. Sexton. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down, Sexton. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The line to gain is the 33 on 3rd down. From the gun, Eason. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket.
Focus, defense, focus. 45's the mic, 45's the mic. I hope you brought your lunch because I'm about to take you to school. Ready, go. Now.
On fourth down, Eason. And that is going to be incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Cowboys' defense is going to get him the football back. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Well, they were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is? Interception. What interception? It didn't really happen because they gave up no points. So go back on the attack. Go back and run the offense you believe will be successful. Find your playmakers and give them the football.
On first down, Mahomes. That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. 17 yards on the play there, and the Cowboys have a first down.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. They will get 4 yards here on the first down run, and that'll make it 2nd and 6. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Play action. Now it's Mahomes. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
52's the mic right here over there, right? 52's the mic. He don't know no better.
On 3rd and long, it's Mahomes. Escaping the pressure right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And he will not make it to that imaginary yellow line as they get him to the ground at about the 23. That scramble good for 13 yards, but not good enough for a first down. It's 4th. Sanders' kick is good. And the Cowboys are going to jump out to a 3-0 lead. So a good kick there, and they put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the throw.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow. Not the tie, but you know.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Let's go, D. 45's the mic, 45's the mic. Quit talking about it. Ready?
From the gun on 3rd down. Eason, this one complete to Jordan Reed. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the gun, Eason. He's going to launch this thing way down into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked by Tarvarius Moore, and he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
They'll start on the ground. It's Rashad Penny. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Cowboy first down. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, In addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
Three 3-0 after one on EA Sports. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Mahomes now on 1st down. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. A very solid gain of 27. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Michael Thomas, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. That's one of those touchdown tosses where if it's an inch to the right or left, it's not a touchdown. He had to put it right on the money.
Yeah, and how did he do that? Everything around him, everything swirling, all the coverage downfield. Somehow he spotted the opening and put it right there.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead grows to 10-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan? Or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Eason, he sets to fire deep. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off down at the 10. So he actually goes back about 9 yards on the return, but the interception is clean, and they have the pigskin, and they take over. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And they'll hit him for a loss as he's back to his 2-yard line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
All right, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up, back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
I don't know why, but it's always agonizing to me to see a guy make a mistake in this phase of the game because you can it's all on him. All eyes there. He's got a chance to make a punt return, and instead he ends up putting it on the carpet.
Puts it on the carpet. The little rubber pellets shoot up. Never a good sign for a returner on this field turf surface.
No, not at all. And a bunch of them go up when they're all trying to get to the football, don't they? I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 15 yards on the play, first down. So from the 36 now, first and 10.
Hey, high 7. Shoot.
From the gun, Eason. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. 23 yards on the play. First red zone chance now for the Vikings. They have a first and 10 at the 13-yard line. Back to throw. Eason to the end zone, but it's incomplete. Josh Gordon, the intended receiver, but it's going to be second down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Now they face a third and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Operating from the gun, Eason looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
McCrane able to knock this one through. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. Well, that's something of a pick-me-up. The offense certainly has struggled, but they do get the field goal before half to put 3 on the board.
Yeah, you don't want to be shut out, but let's face it, those 3 points, that's not going to solve all their problems either.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Our score 10-3 with 2 minutes remaining in quarter number 2. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. They keep it with Penny on first down. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up second and 2 at the 45-yard line.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. They go play fake. Mahomes. He'll buy some time right. Oh, now he'll try and chuck it deep left side. And this is what here? Incomplete, they say. It looked like it was intercepted, but he apparently did not get the 2 feet down inbounds. They'll come up now on a second and long after the hold. Working from the gun, Mahomes. That's caught by Howard. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and they're going to have a third down.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. From the 34 now, here's first and 10.
Let's put them on the buses. Let's put that team on the bus.
Shotgun snap to Mahomes. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
On 2nd down, here's Penny. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 11 yards there, 1st down. Now a play fake here on 1st down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a 1st down again.
Yellow. And we have 15.
They'll try and run forward with Penny. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter. The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. Back to the ground, this time with Jones. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Penny will try to punch it in. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage. Back to the 4-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. The target that time, Michael Thomas. But now it's 3rd and goal. Here's Jones. And he will take it in for a Cowboy score. Aaron Jones in the final seconds of the 1st half. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead is now 17-3. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is a really, I'm doing it. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
What has not been the best game for him, but he definitely tried to get by with a little help from his friend there, trying to create a big play.
Couldn't do it, fell incomplete, but you're right, hasn't been a banner game here in the second half, just trying to get going.
Big thing is trying to keep confidence up and continue to fire.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know, the rhythm seems off.
Check three, check three, check three.
Hey, orbit.
They'll try and throw for it here. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. It's Devin White, the linebacker. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December. Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake, after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
Watch the screen, watch the screen.
Spot, hey, 57, 57.
No. Check three, check three.
66. Bullet high.
So after the INT, here's Mahomes to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, helped force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Now Rashad Penny. And yet again, he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Great job by this Vikings defense. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll be a third and about 13.
52, Mike. It's our time, guys. It's our time. Check 52.
Looking to throw is Mahomes. That's caught. It's Thomas. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think
that his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked by Tarvarius Moore. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected for the 2nd week in a row?
And it'll be intercepted. Lonnie Johnson picks it. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
A bit of an opening there on the first down run as they get this forward for about 6 yards. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down. From the gun on 3rd down. Eason, open man is Gordon, complete. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. From the gun, Eason Looking long for his tight end read. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10.
Hey, Haywood.
45, 45, 45, Mike, 45. Go, go, go.
Big trip.
Throwing again. Eason. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's the right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you get a little confidence in it, and let him fling another one.
52's the mic, boy. I got you, son. I got you. You're all mine. You're all mine, baby.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Mahomes is going to float this over the middle deep. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Cowboys. A big play there. 81 yards. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Eason. Jordan Reed has it. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a 1st down.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. On 1st down. Sexton, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. They'll keep it on the ground. Sexton. And for a 2nd straight play, that Cowboy defense gets him to the ground behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. Operating from the gun, Eason. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. He'll get 15 and a Vikings 1st down. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. And for a second straight play, that Cowboy defense gets him to the ground behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. 2 running plays go backwards, so what's the call on 3rd and 13 now? From the gun, Eason. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability. Yeah,
you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
That's fielded in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. There have been no struggles here for this crew. I mean, they were up double digits at halftime, and they've just expanded that here in the second half.
And it appears there are no answers from the defensive side. I think right now, if I'm the coordinator, if I'm down on the field, if I'm wearing a hat, I've already thrown it. If it's a visor, it's sailed, right? My game plan is down by my feet right now because nothing I've drawn up appears to be working.
Well, he's going to have to find something right now to stop this offense. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. They push forward, but I don't think it's enough. He's going to be about a yard short. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up the 4th down. They'll run with Penny. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Mahomes going to throw. Looking long for Thomas. It's caught inside the 25. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. And give him a gain of 37. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down.
Switch. 22 jet bomber, 22 jet bomber.
Yellow.
Hey,
Sunday.
From the gun, a give to Penny. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. It's a pickup of 3, and we have now arrived at the 2-minute warning. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
Kill, turn up.
And they'll run it again with Penny. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Rashad Penny with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Vikings
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Give them maybe a yard, quite the opposite from the previous big gainer.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And this one complete to Reed. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys 16. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And that is caught, but the back judge right there to say incomplete. And it's incomplete. Still time left, though. 2 seconds remaining now in the fourth quarter. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. And this is going to be caught. So it affects the final score, not the outcome, but it is a late touchdown here on the game's final play. Doesn't affect the outcome, but, hey, nice job there to put it in the end zone for the final play.
Could it affect other things? Sometimes these types of scores are ones that we don't consider big at the time. Then later on we find out maybe that was a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Or, of course, in the fantasy football world, these points mean a lot.
A lot there. Well, on the one side, if you try to take away something positive from this game, they played to the final whistle, getting the touchdown there on the last play, but still, all for naught, really.
Yeah, I'd say give them points for positivity. I like that. That part is good. But I often wonder, when the game is settled and the clock is run out, do we really need to kick the extra point?
Oh, yeah. It's silly. It's silly.
It doesn't make any sense to me. I know that people have explained before, well, you got to play it all the way through. Come on, this thing was done.
Y'all already know what time this is. Playing skills, you did. Ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, all on the wrist, watch out flip.